Hey everyone, welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. Today, we will learn Excel data visualization course. That said, if these are the type of videos you'd like to watch, then hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to get notified.
Craving a career upgrade? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Dive into the link in the description to fast-track your ambitions. Whether you're making a switch or aiming higher, Simplilearn has your back.
Now, what exactly do you mean by data visualization? So, let's say you run a company, something similar to Amazon, which is also having an online website and it has some stocks and everything. You have customer data, you have orders data, delivery data, category, the lead numbers, profit made, etc. Right? And you give that data to your marketing team, or maybe your marketing team gives that data to you. Then how do you understand it exactly, right? It's nothing but all numbers and alphabets and nothing understandable. All you can see is just tablet data with some entries in it, right? And you are ought to make a special decision for your company, which improves the sales in all the states and regions of your nation, right? Or worldwide. In those scenarios, what exactly comes to your help is data visualization. If your data can be transformed into some graphs, some charts maybe, which can help you understand what exactly is going down in your data and what exactly is growing in your business data, right? That exactly is known as data visualization. So there are multiple data visualization tools like Excel, Power BI, Tableau, ClickView, etc. So in this particular tutorial, we will have Excel data visualization. So for a clear understanding purpose, let me show you what exactly I meant. So this is what I meant before, right? So imagine you are given this particular data set from your marketing team, and just by looking at it, you need to make a business decision. Do you think it is possible to make a business decision? No, right? Now, what if I tell you I would like to convert this into some graphs and charts so that it helps you understand which is the category that bringing you the most number of leads. So, just select the category here and go to the leads column. Once you've selected those both, go to the insert option here, and here you can see some options for pivot tables, pivot charts, and sparklines, filters, slicers, and everything. I would like to go with the charts, and I'll expand the button, and you can see already Excel is recommending some charts for you. It would like to go with the bar graph, the Pareto chart, and other things. If you just go into other forms of charts, you have pie chart, you have donut chart, etc. Right? What if I go with a pie chart? Something like this. Or the initial recommendation, which was a column chart, right? If I go with this, then I will have this particular pivot table generated all by itself from Excel. And here you can see the number of leads given by the categories. So the home category gives me about 37,000 leads on an yearly basis. So if I go back to sheet 1, this particular dataset belongs to the year 2020. So in this particular year, I have received about 37,000 leads from home category and about 39,000 to 40,000, close 49,000 leads from office category. And technology category gave me about 34,000 leads, right? Now you can understand technology is not performing so good compared to home and office. Now to improve the sales, you might want to make a decision, a business decision. Apply some offers or add in some marketing teams or run some campaigns to improve the technology, right? So you can borrow some of the profits which made you richer from home and office category and invest that money into the marketing so that by the next year you can see some prominent growth in technology as well, which will make your company a little more richer, right? So that exactly is what I meant by the term data visualization. So in this particular tutorial, we will explore data visualization in Excel. So now if we go back to the insert option once again, by getting back to the sheet 1, we can find a lot of charts, right? All charts, and here you can see column charts, which we had an example of. And here we have line graph and pie chart, bar graph, area graph, etc. Right? We will try to generate one example of each and every charts available here. And after that, the most important part of today's session, I will help you learn how to automate this particular task. Let's say you are a business analyst working for your company, right? And you have generated the data for 2020. Tomorrow comes 2021. And you might have to do this task all together once again. And comes 2022, 23, 24, and 25, and so on. Would you like to do this operation again and again and again, right? If it's once in a year, it's fine. But what if you are supposed to generate this particular report on a month-on-month basis, or maybe on a week-on-week basis? Wouldn't be it a little too mundane, right? So to avoid that, I will tell you how to automate this task. But before that, let's explore all the available charts for us. Now, let's try to go with the second option in our charts, which happens to be the line graph. So it's important to understand which is the time and which is the chart you need to take. So whenever you're dealing with dates, right? The order date, the delivery date. Let's say the problem statement is, I want to understand how the sales are going on a month-on-month basis, right? How are the orders received, right? Which is the month in the year 2020 which has the highest orders received. How would you do that? So to do that, you will go with the line graph, which will show you how the orders perform on a month-on-month basis. So go to the pivot chart again here, and we don't want this particular chart here. So instead of category and sum of leads, we will go with order date as rows, which will give us the months, Jan to December of 2020. And we will take leads to the values, sum of leads, make sure that it is sum of leads. So we are calculating the total leads in month. Now, select all of this and go to the charts option here and select the line graph and press OK. There you go. Now you can see which was the peak month. So we happen to be the peak month, which performed so well. You can also go with some effects here, like adding some markers, and you can also change some colors. You can modify the color of the line, the markers, etc. Right? So these are all the modifications you can do, and you can expand the size of your graph for a better visual. So why are you changing the size of the graph? So again, we will also discuss the dashboards in this particular tutorial. So once you create a dashboard, you might want to adjust the sizes of graphs and everything that you create. So it looks like a perfect dashboard where you can have details of everything. Right? So that's the overall point of creating a dashboard. Now, this was the second type of graph that we explored today. And coming back to the sheet one once again. Now, if you go to the insert option, here you have a few more types of charts, right? So far we have dealt with the column chart. So we have clustered, stacked, and everything. And we have also explored the line graph. Now we would like to go with the bar graph, right? Now, let's say you wanted to know the difference between the leads and traffic. Let's say you have marketed a specific product, or you have run some campaigns, and the traffic you received is volumetric, right? A lot of traffic in terms of lakhs, or crores, or thousands, of hundreds, right? You never expected those many number of people visiting your website. But even after getting those many number of traffic numbers, the leads are less, or the conversion is less, or the orders received are less. Let's say 100 people visited your website, but only 1 or 2 people out of those traffic placed the orders, right? So you wanted to know if your marketing is working well or not, right? In those scenarios, such bars or such bar graphs will help you. Now, let's cancel this and go back to our pivot table once again. Clear everything. clear some fleets. And now delete this particular chart and add lead values, or no, traffic values and order of lead values. And in the rows, you want month. Select order date, and now select all of these and go for a chart which looks something like a bar graph. So you can see Excel has automatically selected a graph for the orders versus traffic here. So you can see the traffic numbers were so high, but the orders were less. So here you need to identify what was that one reason which led to the drop in orders despite getting high number of traffic. Now let's check the leads if we have good amount of leads. Yeah, even the leads play the same amount of role in decrease in sales. So there is something which you need to change on the marketing perspective. So now let's go back to the sheet one once again and check the insert button. And here, if you go down to the options of all charts, you can find the area chart. So now let's try to figure out how to use the area chart. So similarly, you can go back to the pivot table here and eliminate the traffics and leads. Or maybe we can use the same data and change the chart maybe, right? Now select all this and go to the pivot charts over here. And if you get onto the area chart, you can see traffic we received against the number of leads. If you add orders to it, you can also get the details of orders against the number of traffic, number of leads, and the number of orders, right? So this will give you a clear data. Now you can also emphasize it a little more, something like this, which gives you a better picture. And you can change the colors of your graphs. That is also possible. Now let us get back to the sheet number one and again to our insert menu and here are the charts. So far we have covered the line graph, column graph, bar graph, area graph, and pie. I think we missed pie, but not a problem. Let's go back to that once again. Let's close this and go to sheet 2. So you can delete this one. And get into the pivot table once again. You can clear this. And then order date, you can also clear order date. And you can just select category. Now we have, okay, order date is supposed to be removed. And now we just have orders and there are some of the category details. Select all the table and go to the pivot chart or normal charts and select the pie chart and press OK, right? And if you don't want this particular pie chart, you can also go with some other types of charts which are available in this particular section, which look like this, a 3D pie chart or even a donut chart maybe, which looks, so the 3D pie chart looks like something like this, and it gives you a better view of what exactly is happening with a specific category. And if there are multiple options, which look something like this, and if you go with the donut chart. So basically, if you're choosing the pie chart, then you have these many types of charts which go along with the pie chart. So it's your opinion or it's your option to go choose any type of pie or donut chart. So let's go with the initial one, which is a pie chart. So okay, and there you go. Let's quickly delete this one and go back to sheet 1. And let's check the other types of charts available. So basically, you need to build the business problem and decide which type of bar graph or which type of chart or graph is most suitable for that particular problem statement and makes the solution more readable and understandable, right? So that's the overall motto. So proceeding ahead, so far we have covered column, line, pie, bar, area, etc. Right? Now the next one is the scatter plot. So you can already see Excel has automatically generated a scatter plot for series 1 to 3. So basically, you might be having, a lot of people have a doubt when exactly to use scatter plot. So think of it this way. Let's say you have an ice cream store and you wanted to know which time of the year your ice cream sales are increasing, right? Based on the climate, based on the weather, based on the temperature. So during summers, the temperatures are high, so the ice cream sales are high during that particular season. So that can be understood using the scatter plot. Moving ahead, we have the map chart. So let's try to implement example map chart, order ID, sum of orders, and instead of order ID, let's take state. Now, using this, we can try to create a map chart. You cannot create that in a pivot table, so let's try to repeat. You cannot create that in a pivot table, so let's try to do it in a normal sheet. Go with the maps, and here you come. There it is. So since we have taken all the American nations, you can see the darker areas have the highest orders and the lighter areas have the least orders. So this comes handy when you want to identify that one single state which is your biggest customer, which is your biggest client, right? And now head let's dig down which are the charts still we can cover. So stock map. So let me select all the data and go to the charts once. So the next step of the chart is stocks. So you can already see Excel has already recommending the category 1, 2, 3 charts for us. So we have different categories of products in our sales data. So based on that, it is providing the sales performance of our categories and the surface radar map. So you can already see it is identifying that. And tree map, similar to the map data structure, tree map is a geometrical identification of which particular product is highest selling. So let's try that out, right? And select the orders columns and go to the maps. And here you can go to the all charts option and select the tree map option, which shows you the highest sales. So before that, you can also apply this to the pivot table as well. Go to all charts and tree map. Okay, the pivot table is not supporting. Anyways, so basically, if you go back to the original sheet, this is how it looks like. So here you can see the highest selling product is this one, which happens to be the office tag ID, and so on. And the least selling ones are available somewhere here in the corner, right? Now, if we expand our chart options once again, we are left out with histograms, sunburnt, box and whiskers, waterfall, and funnel and combo. Let's select the entire data so that we can make it a little quicker. Histogram. This is histogram, the sample chart. This is the box and whiskers sample chart that can be created using this particular data set to identify sales of all the major products. And this is the waterfall one where you can see the increase, decrease, total. So you can also change the colors. The increase can be turned as green color, decrease can be turned as red color, and total can be turned as a yellow color or something. Basically, it looks something like this one, a waterfall model, which can be an alternate to the line graph, which shows the increase and decrease in the number of sales and funnel and a combination. So basically, combination is something where you can identify let's say you wanted to identify a particular category. So in office category, you might be having some products related to office, right? The office tags, office charges, office tables, and office chairs, right? And based on yearly performance since the start of the month to the end of the month, how are the products performing in terms of sales? That's what you can identify from this type of a chart, which happens to be a combination chart. So far, so good. We have a brief understanding of all the major charts that you can use in your day-to-day data visualization. Now, let me navigate you to the different part of today's session. Let's delete the pivot table. let's move on to the next part of today's session, which is about automating this particular data analysis procedure, right? Let me close this up, and I don't want to save any results. And if I go to the downloads where I have data for 2020, 2021, 2, 3, and 4. Now I have an empty folder named as sales data. So let me put one file in that. Drag and drop one file into sales data. And now I have an address, right? Let me go back to Excel. And here, let me open a file. Let me create a new file actually, a blank workspace. Let me import the data, right? Go to the data option and get data from file, since we'll be getting the file from an Excel file. So you can give it as a file and select folder, because we are, okay, the overall idea of this, what's the idea of this, right? Let's say this particular sales day, you're in 2020. Let's imagine you're not in 2020, but let's imagine you're in 2020, right? And you got the data. Now, you happen to go into 2021 and the new 2021 data has been successfully created. What happens now is, if you just drag and drop that particular file into this folder, the overall report automatically gets updated. That's the reason we are going into this procedure. So to better understand that, I'll leave a tutorial in the description box below. And also you can follow this tutorial to understand what exactly I mean, right? Now let's get back to Excel workbook. Go to get data from file and select the folder from folder, and go into downloads where we have our sales data. Select this particular file and open. Right now the Excel Power Query will open up, right? Now, if you're satisfied with your data, you can just load the data. And if not, you can just go for a transformation option, right? Now, I think you might be having a brief idea of Excel VBA or Excel macros, where every step can be registered, right? Now, just select the data, double click it, and select the data right here, and it will give you a brief preview. Now you have the first sheet, select the sheet, and you'll have a preview. Okay, select OK, and it will be loading in a moment, processing some queries. So there you go. Now we will make some transformations to it. Firstly, we don't want the first column name, which is source name. You can remove it, and here you can see the step has been recorded, right? That is very important for us to understand the automation, right? Now the next automation step is convert the data types. So here you can see the order ID. We don't want to mess up with the order ID. We want to change the order date and delivery date, right? So for that, you might want to change the data type, which is not in a date data type. It's just numbers. So just double click and change data type to date, right? So just select both the delivery date and order date, double click, and here you can see change data type, and you want to change the data type from whole number to advanced, okay, to date. Cancel this. Let's individually change that. Change type from whole number, another error. Don't worry, you can just remove that transformation step. If you don't want that transformation to be implemented, you can just remove it. So change data type from whole number to date. Right now you want to, let's say you want to add a column which shows the number of days took to delivery. Right now, select the delivery date first, then the order date, and now double click, add a column, and here subtract days. And here you have it. Instead of subtraction, you can rename it as name and number of days. Okay, days to deliver. So here you can identify how exactly your product is being delivered and how many days it is taking. And if it is too long, you can identify some mistakes with the delivery agent or something like that, right? So let's have a track of that. Now let's keep it along with the order date and delivery date for a better understanding. And if you go ahead, here you can see customer ID, right? So the problem is customer ID is along with the customer name. So what you want to do is you want to split the customer ID and customer name. You can do that. Just double click, and here you can have split column option by delimiter, and your delimiter is automatically set to hyphen, since it identified, but the issue is we already have a space there. So you have spaces, and there you go. Your customer ID and customer name are split. So instead of ID2, just replace ID2 with customer name. There you go. Another transformation is done. Proceeding ahead, so we have quantity, traffic, leads, orders, and revenue, and cost to company, order status. So we want to identify the profit. So we don't want, if you filter it out, you can see delivered, in transit, not delivered, or order cancelled, right? So not delivered and order cancelled will be rejected from the list because we want to identify the correct profits. Correct? And what I mean by rejecting not delivered or cancelled, because cancelled orders will be refunded to the customer, so you cannot add that number to your profits. And not delivered will automatically get cancelled, and again that money will be sent back to the customer, right? That money can also be not added to your overall revenue or profit. Right now we want to identify profit, so we want to subtract revenue from cost of the company, right? Select revenue first, then cost of the company, and go to add column, and then subtract, and you have profit. Rename that as profit, and you can drag and drop that particular thing to here, and there you go. Now you have a fully functional data set, which is fine. Now you can use this particular data, right? Go to home. Here you can close and load, right? Close, save, close, and load. Correct? Your data will be now loaded to the data set. There you go. Correct? Now you have the order ID, order date, delivery date, days to deliver, state, region, customer ID separated, customer name separated, and everything else, right? And you also have the profit, which you made, and a pivot table, which is readily available for you, right? And if you don't want this, you can freshly prepare a pivot table for yourself. So now you can create a pivot table, and you can also create all the charts that you wanted in your dashboard. So far so good. We have successfully loaded the data. Now we have everything in place. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and create some dashboards, which is the last part of today's session. And remember, you've created a macro before loading this data into this particular table. Okay, and this particular data only has the information from 2020, and our files are from 2020 to 21, 22, 23, and 24. And in case if in future if we get 25, we can also add that into the same folder. Okay, remember that we have created a macro, we have automated the task of data analysis report or dashboard. Correct? Now we will create a dashboard and finalize that particular dashboard. In future, we are going to drag the data of 21, 22, 23, and 24 into the same folder location, and magically all that data will be uploaded onto the same dashboard, and the data analysis report will be ready. All you have to do is just go to data and use this refresh option. Okay, now let's proceed with the creation of dashboard. So first we will select the region and revenue. Okay, and out of this we'll try to create a bar graph. Okay, this is the first one, and let's go back to the sales data. We have the region wise sales, and now we will proceed with category wise sales, and we will insert maybe a pie chart, or let's rename this as region wise sales. This one, let's eliminate this sheet. sales data, and sheet 2, there's nothing in sheet 2 as well, right? Now, let's insert a pivot table in a new worksheet. Select all the data from the table range in a new worksheet, and now we have a new pivot table, and name it as category wise sales. And now we will drag and drop category into rows, and the aggregation of revenue will be sum, right? Now we will select this data and insert a pie chart. Good. Now we are good with region-wise sales and category-wise sales. If we go back to the data again, what are the different possibilities? Order date, and I think we have traffic leads, customer ID, region, days to deliver. Okay, what we can do is we can create a line graph for month-on-month sales as well, right? Now let's select the entire data once again. Quickly, let's insert a pivot table, and the pivot table will be from the selected range. New worksheet. Let's rename the worksheet as month-on-month sales is select order date to rows ID, so that we get the month-on-month. The orders revenue. So we'll take revenue summation, ensure that it is summation, and now let's insert a line graph. There you go. And you can modify that as I discussed before. You can add markers, but I don't want any markers. I want this to be clean and clear. And if you want any other modifications, you can do that as well, right? Now we will create a new sheet for our dashboard. We will copy this and paste it over here, and we will copy this, paste it here. There you go. So you might have to select the cell first. Okay. Now finally category wise sales and sales. Region wise sales is the last one. Okay. So we are on the region wise sales. Select the chart and go to data 6, sheet 6, and select any cell, paste it. Okay. There you go. We have the 3 dashboards now. You can rename this sheet as dashboard. There you go. Now you can, if you want, you can save it. Okay, have a quick look at all the numbers, right? Now we have this data for only 1 year. If you go back to the sales data and filter the data out, you can see as 2020. Okay, now what we will do is go back to our download section. There you go. These are the downloads. Let's imagine that we just received fresh data for all the other remaining years. You can copy or cut the files. I'll cut the files and go to sales data and paste them right here. Now we have the data for 2020, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Correct? Now close the file, come back to the data set, go to data and click on refresh all. It might take a while, but it's completely fine. Data will be updated shortly. There you go. Now it seems like the data has been successfully updated. Let's check for our satisfaction. There you go. Now we have the data for 2020, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? Now let's quickly go to the dashboard as well. And here, if you refresh, you will get the updated report or dashboard also for all the remaining other years. That is 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well, including 2020. So that's how you can automate the data visualization process with Excel. So far so good. We have understood the various charts available in Microsoft Excel. Now let's go back to the sales data. Yeah. So far we have understood all the different types of charts available in Excel, the column, the line, the pie, bar, area, right? We have also built a storyline or use case for each and every chart, and we have created multiple types of these charts. And after that, we have understood much about the pivot tables and pivot charts. And after that, we have used Microsoft Power Query in Excel to load and transform the data. So we have also covered data cleaning and data transformation and data loading. And after that, we have automated the data analysis or data visualization or data reporting in Microsoft Excel, right? Now, by year or so on 26 or 27, whenever you get a new file, you just have to drag and drop the file into the location of the sales report and your data will be updated. After that, you will find the report and you can invest the major part of your time in which you spend majorly in creating reports, right? You can spend that major time in building strategies and improving your business. And that brings us to the end of this session on a data visualization course in Excel. If you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require the dataset or any other resources used in this session, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to help you as soon as possible. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.